Okie dokie. We are in episode 5? I think 5. Yeah. Hey everybody, it's probably Red. So we're getting to a pretty exciting part of this. Our Tuatara's favor is at 4, which is great, and our notoriety is at 5 out of 6. We do have some motivation this time. Motivation 1 out of 6. Okay, that's probably going to get spent immediately. So wait, did I say 5? We're going to say it's episode 5. Anyways, so let us begin. All right, we're gonna roll real quick, and for this episode, I don't think it's gonna be the final. It's either this or the next one that's gonna end up being the final. But I want to get oh yeah, let's use this dice. It's white letters, red, and I think it's like, I don't know what font that is, but probably Times New Roman. Anyways, we're going for it. 6. Okay. Oh. Wow. Okay. Oh yeah, we probably could just, like, since we rolled a 6 anyways, we might as well recap. I was thinking we were like getting into the battle finale. It's not happening anytime soon, based on that roll. But yeah, we just we got in like 3 fights or 2 fights last time. We had the crap beat out of us. We lost our ship. We almost died. But last time we checked in, we're feeling pretty good. We found this pontoon playing. There's a Urgol band playing some Urgolian, or some, what is that place called? Darn tootin' Centros. Oh Lord. Crimbless. I wasn't even close, but Crimbless S. Crimbless. So yeah, so we were listening to some Crimbless bluegrass, and there was an Urgel band playing on a 2-tier pontoon. We go on there, it ends up being a bar. So, we notice another mercenary, or a bounty hunter there from the Heat Seekers, and that's kind of where we're at now. And we're becoming quite notorious. But we rolled a 6. Absolutely nothing happens. We gained a motivation. Let's mark that down. Boom. And then let's roll to see what happens next. Okay. Rolled a 4. What destruction do you see caused by the intergalactic war? So we've kind of wound up. We were kind of near Holder Gate Station. We could put some possibilities. Okay, so in a moment of peace, the Crimbless S Urgel bluegrass pontoon. How did I spell Crimbless wrong? It's not even okay. Crimbless S Urgel bluegrass pontoon. Didn't think I was going to say that sentence. I guess knowing last episode, but yeah. So it's moving steadily through the water, and the band is playing and integrating the soft hum of the engine blades on the water to their sweet Urgolian sounds. There we go. And so this is all happening. We've drifted pretty far away. I mean, I drifted already a good distance away from. We are very far now from Holder Gate Station. Okay. And we kind of see it's kind of odd. Off towards the distance. And now the sun is kind of rising. So the sun rises. And of course, it's beautiful sunrise. And you can see, it almost looks like you can see like a drop off in the water, like where like an ocean or true ocean begins in this seemingly endless sort of Everglade, or not even Everglades, because that's more of like straight up swamp. This is a lot of salt water and mangroves and big wide rivers that just go on and on. But it seems to like the water kind of darkens and it goes out and kind of a crater formation. Okay, so I started. I kind of got this going here. I got carried away. I wanted to get it set up a little bit, but then I already drew some shapes on here. How do I get to do circles? There it is. All right, so yeah, you got some. I guess like the clouds would be kind of like these kind of clouds. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of like extending out. And I don't think there's a spray paint thing here. What is this? Whoa, that's amazing. So we're going to do that, obviously. Nope. I don't want it too much like that. I mean, that's just beautiful. How do you even do that? That's crazy. I didn't know this was a thing, but wow, how do you... Let's just start from up here. Yeah. Okay. It's kind of like that. Yeah. But yeah, we kind of see that, you know, our pontoon. It's over here. Oh. Let's make it, yeah, it's green. There we go. So we got a little double-decker pontoon here. And we see the shape kind of in the water in the distance past all these little, you know, islands and stuff that we're seeing. We're seeing all these little islands here. You know, with little mangroves and stuff. All kinds of little islands. And there is just this crater shape. And it kind of looks like the ocean is just beginning. And as we get closer and closer, we realize that this was, you know, before there was, and it's still tenuous. I mean, there's a presence of the Acrofian Empire, but there was, it's this huge sign in the water, and it's more of kind of like this. It's kind of just the water changes, and you can see that there's depth that just drops off where there was some type of leftover crater from a bomb. So that is our sign of destruction from the intergalactic war. There we go. Okay. So that's kind of what it looks like. In my imagination, it's slightly different, but hopefully that kind of gets your imagination going. Also, I think it's just wonderful that I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do that again. This thing, yeah, that's really cool. Oh, now it's nighttime. I think that's just neat. I've never seen that, but yeah, cool. So yeah, so that gives us a bit of motivation to keep, you know, moving on. All right, so now we're going to step 2. Wait, no exploration event. Yeah, that was kind of our exploration event. Now it's destination time. see really where we drifted off. Maybe it'll relate to the crater, or maybe we'll get an idea what the crater really, exactly is. Okay. So this is by the challenging faction. It's a small outpost or enclave. I keep going to that. I'm gonna close that for now. Yeah. And I hope I got that in camera because I think hopefully it was zoomed right. So we're gonna real quick go here. I got episode 5 marked. You can't really see it, but it's like right here. So I can quickly go to this episode now. That'll save us some time. But we need to know exactly which location. Okay, so it's the challenging faction. So it's going to either be this Tech Gala research post or A25 Tech Gala ship. And it's a small outpost or an enclave. 1 second. Learning a new word. Okay, so I just got a quick idea what it means. It's like you got a cultural area that's surrounded by another entity, like on all sides. Okay, so I guess that's an enclave. I know there's the enclave in Fallout, and then I think there's this like auto battler card game from like back before they even called them auto battlers, called Tyrant. I think there was an enclave there. I really got very into that game. It was on when I was playing on Congregate. If anybody remembers that, back in the day, used to play on Congregate. I wonder if post in the comments if you did too. Before that, it was Miniclip. I don't know if that ages me or not, but let's move on. Okay, so I think last time we rolled this, we rolled Tech Gala, or we ended up choosing this because it's literally like an outpost. We've only seen 2 locations, which is fine. We'll go back to Tech Gala research post. Let's see, or outpost. Let's see what happens. Sorry. Okay, so we get to choose one. Kind of want to roll for it anyways, just to kind of see what we get. Okay, so we got a 2. Search for anyone who might know your target to gain 1 favor. So we've made our way back here. It's kind of circled back around. We're still like, I guess we're really in this area between Holdergate Station and Tech Gala Research Outpost. We don't really have a map like in the traditional hex map sense, but I'm getting the sense that these 2 locations are quite close together, or at least the circle that is encompassed between the 2 spaces has been where we've existed this entire mission, more or less. So we're at Tech Gala Research Outpost. So yeah. Okay, so we see the crater of a Necrophian attack before the peace between the holder of Elidoko and the Empire. Okay. Okay, so now we arrive, or the pontoon drifts on and ends up near the Tech Gala research station. Where is it at? I'll just go ahead. Yeah, Tech Gala research outpost. Okay. Pontoon. How do you spell pontoon? It doesn't look like I spelled. Maybe you got to capitalize it to make it look good. Yeah, it looks better. Anyways. So we're searching. I want to try to find somebody who knows Mr. Silversand. Not actually find Mr. Silversand's long gone. But I want to find somebody that knows him and can give us some info, like on his lab, where he was working. So we go in. We're looking worse than we did before, but we're hoping maybe Ethan's still there. You know. So we go in and we ask the front desk, you know. And I'll go ahead and say that this is going to be like a talk. So let's see, how does talk work? Or speak action. Okay. So half of our favor would be 2. So let's roll that. We'll roll the green and black dice. So we got a 4. We're not speaking to the leader target. So I guess we'll just roll a challenge dice. And since they don't like us, we'll give it +1. All right, so they rolled a 6. Wait. What does this mean? What does this mean? Locals, assets. What is happening? Oh, okay. Automatically. Okay, so if this is a success, this is very confusing to me. So we're trying to talk plainly with locals. What is it? Do I use this chart? Do I have a challenge dice in talking? It just says it. It's not telling me. I don't know. We'll find out. I should know how to do this by now, but okay. Your choice of reactions limited by who you have encountered. Okay. Okay. So okay, so we do roll a challenge die. So we definitely failed. What does it say? Lead. What? I don't know what this means in context to there being a challenge dice. We're not speaking to the leader target. So failure? Okay. Do we use the 4 on this? Locals and assets. So do we roll this first? Ay. So I guess if we succeeded, this should be above this, in my personal opinion. Quite confusing to me. I'm trying to grok what I'm supposed to do here. I just haven't used this reaction yet, but yeah, it's a bit perplexing. So we're just going to say we failed, and we're going to interpret that. So we're asking around. We're getting, people are like, Mr. Who? We don't know a Silversand. Blah, 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 blah. It could be an alias, or could be they don't want to talk. We're looking worse for wear, and they are just not having it. So we call it a failure. We hurry back out and see that the pontoon is still kind of nearby, so we swim out real quick, and we see what happens next. So that was a fail, but it's fine. Mostly an uneventful set of, or uneventful hunt there. But let's roll again. Let's roll it back. We'll use the wooden dice. 2. Okay. Oh. Okay. Our notoriety is not 6 or higher. So we roll on the exploration events table again. Okay. Okay. So we rolled a 1 on the set of stuff, and it's a 6. Okay. So now that we're back on the pontoon, I guess they see how good of a swimmer we are. Let's actually roll to see how good of a swimmer we are. We'll add half of our current motivation, but we're not spending a motivation. So +1. And then like the higher the number, the better. So we got a 4. That's above average. So yeah, they say, man, some pretty good swimming. So some locals ask us to help them hunt down a monstrous creature. They seem reluctant to give you too many details. Choose one. Okay. So I guess we'll see what happens. We're gonna definitely roll between these two. But let's see. Failed to find any info. So these are the people on the pontoon. One of them strikes up a conversation, and says like, "Hey, you're a pretty good swimmer. We already have a bounty hunter friend here, but they're really caught up on this important mission, and also they're a terrible swimmer." They're referring to the brute from earlier, Gurmesi or Gursemi, okay, or Jersemi. Yeah, so Jersemi. Jersemi doesn't like swimming, which kind of sucks for her on this planet because it's covered in water, but she can fly, so it's kind of a plus and minus. It's hard to fly in such heavy gear on though, so she can glide. But right now she's on a pontoon, so it's all good. So Jermessi's like, I'm not doing that. Apparently, that's what they tell us. So one of these locals happens to be let's see if they're an Urgol or something else. We rolled a 6. The person asking is a human or a gnome. Wait. Hold up. Possibly another species. So the second most prominent is going to be an Avinian. Okay, so we don't have to roll that. I was thinking human because it's the second most prominent, but this is just the challenger faction. So it's an Avinian. Yeah, there's not many Urgols on the planet, but in this case there are. Okay, on this particular pontoon. But yeah, they mention like, yeah, I've been kind of tasked. I'm a guide. I live in a village pretty close to Holder Gate Station, and I've been getting work being a guide. And I'm touring these visitors. And they want to try to hunt this monster, but no, it's more of a legend than a monster. So I couldn't really tell you much about it, but I think that they would definitely appreciate having you along, even if they don't find it, just to kind of boost their confidence a bit. And I say, yeah, sure. I mean, I'll do it. I kind of like need the diversion, and I need to get in favor with this character here, this Avinian, because maybe they know the area enough and they've heard about what's going on. Maybe they can help me out here, or at least guide me in the right direction. Plus, I mean, if we're in favor of the pontoon people and give them an even better impression of, because they already like the Gurmesi person, because their friend is like the owner of the pontoon. So yeah. So I would definitely say yes to that. And then let's say, like, let's come up with some creatures it could be when we arrive there. And they say, like, we wanted to kind of get a look at that crater earlier. It's rumored to live in it. And I'm like, holy macaroni. We're going to be going into some weird waters, some deep waters. Ooh. Okay, so let's think of some things that this could be. I'm thinking really big. And like catfish crossed with an angler fish. Yeah. Yeah. Some type of like a psychic squid. Maybe it's not one monster, but it's like a horde of piranhas crossed with flying fish. Sure. They're like, I mean, yeah, let's just, instead of crossing with flying fish, let's just call them winged piranhas. I mean, they still need to breathe in the water, but they can fly. So that's pretty creepy. What else? So like somehow like through psychic or magical energies, maybe there's like a, or even like maybe like some kind of like chemical spill into this crater from the weapons. There's been like living mud. No, not living mud. Like maybe living roots. Living metal. Yeah, living metal construct. Or maybe a robot. It isn't a monster, but instead tech gala ships. Okay, and then on our 6 we'll re-roll. Let's roll the wooden dice. Okay. This is not good. Oh no. It's a horde of winged piranhas. All right. Okay. So we've chosen to say yes. But I still think, I guess we'll see if we fail, but we're not going to watch them fail. We all roll up kind of close in the pontoon. You know, we've circled back around to this crater. And then they get a second boat, you know, plop it into the water, and they kind of go off. And, you know, I'm thinking in my mind, Tuatara's like, ooh, if I could get this, or even if they, because I noticed they had like 3 of these boats attached. If I could just get one of these boats by succeeding on this mission, that would save me so much travel time, and I could kind of get this done really fast. And the problem with that is I'm sure that they already have to spare one of these boats for cannot remember her name off the top of my head. Gersemi. Yeah, Gersemi. Okay. So we kind of approach, and we didn't notice it before, maybe it was the time of day, but really far, like towards like kind of the middle of the crater. We also noticed there's no islands. There's just no islands here. It's just kind of open water. And it's kind of weird because you'd think piranhas, freshwater. Let me check something out real quick. Okay, so I just kind of did some cursory looking at what kind of piranha we'd be looking at. And I think it'd be, I'm not a fishing expert, okay? But I think it would be close to like a bluefish. They have sharp teeth, but like a mutant bluefish with wings. It also said that piranhas and bluefish don't actually attack humans that much, but they kind of can. But they don't consider humans necessarily like, oh yeah, that's food. It's kind of like, if they get too close to them, and they're territorial because they're like bitey fish. Anyways, but these ones are giant mutant bluefish, so these are definitely dangerous. So yeah. Oversized, or like, we'll call them super flying bluefish. It kind of sounds like a enemy from Mario, but this is what we're going with. Okay, so then we kind of see them jumping. It was like in the sunrise we didn't really see them, but now we kind of see them just like, and it's like starts out like you kind of see it occasionally, like the casting of shadows in the distance. Then we realize it just isn't stopping. And as we make an approach to say, like you said, monster, this is a bunch of them. And they say there's one in particular we're after. And then we see it. It bursts out of the water, soaring into the sky over 50 feet in less than 10 seconds. I think that's actually a lot of time, but it's pretty fast. It just like jumps 5 stories straight out of the water, flapping its little wings, proportionally little. They're actually probably like 10-foot, 20-foot wingspan, 15-foot wingspan. Yeah. So it's got 15-foot wingspan here. And the fish itself is like, it's a 20-foot fish. Pretty big wings. And its teeth are snapping at the air as it goes. And each tooth is probably like, probably about 2.5 foot long. And its mouth is full of them. Sharp, sharp row of enormous teeth. And we can see its unblinking eye over there. Hold up. Do fish blink? Okay, yeah. Their unblinking eye kind of spots us even from this distance. And as it starts to fall back towards the water, its wings catch it as it kind of leaps midair. 1, 2, 3. And it's like about 10 foot off the water. Now it's pointed our direction. And all the other flying bluefish, super flying bluefish, are following it now. And it kind of is like this rhythmic wave of fish jumping towards us. And I get out, spinning my laser pistols like, you realize I only have 2 shots of this thing. And we kind of hear this fluttering noise from behind us. And we look back, and good old, darn it, her name, Gersemi. We're going to bring Gersemi with us over here. Gersemi, with her repeating laser rifle, is on her own boat, wings kind of flapping slowly to make her, boat move faster. Just she's like, I don't know what y'all have gotten me dragged into here, but I couldn't go without the glory. So she kind of looking down the sight of her laser rifle, and she just starts blasting long range. I've only got 2 shots, so I got to save them. So with this whole group effort, they're getting closer and closer, and then they're upon us, cutting teeth, blasting. It's like getting pelted by hail, but hail the size of like, grocery carts. Like it's it's kind of crazy. The boat's like rocking, lifting up, 2 foot into the air every time one of them hits us from underneath. And the giant one, we can still see it's still like 100 feet away from us, and we're getting hit with this first wave. And we kind of look back for a second, and they've all started circling around to go for another attack. And our arms are all bleeding and cut up. Tuatara's like, holy crap. And then this thing, as we see it, this thing is just enormous. It's bigger than the pontoon. And it's been riddled with these laser blasts from behind us. And also, like, she's Germesi is or Gersemi is just changing out, cartridges, firing. I got one pistol out, and I got my stun mace, and I'm swatting as much as I can at these bluefish, these super flying bluefish. And it's pretty effective. But this thing is finally upon us. So I blast it once, and it dives down into the water. And it jumps back up, and it's flying towards us, getting blasted with a repeating laser rifle. And I kind of lock on with its open, humongous mouth. It's within like 10 feet, and I'm about to take my shot. And I've swapped the stun mace to my other hand. I pick up my second pistol. And I pull it out. It's 5 feet away. Okay, I'm going to be the green, and it'll be the red. Ooh, okay. It's getting riddled with laser blasts. It rolls a 4. Well, it rolls a 1. Plus 3 is 4. And then I'll say I'll take a plus 4, because that's like one of the laser pistols plus the stats for the stun mace. So I'll take a plus 4, which I rolled a 5, so that's 9. We blast it, and it falls like fishy skull first into the front of our boat, scoots us back. We hit Gersemi's little scooter boat, and this wave just kind of pushes us back, and it kind of like floats up for a second. And one of the tourists, they start shooting these hook things, not like the boiling rifle thing, but these just like kind of like javelin guns, and there's 6 of them, and they got kind of, this thing's heavy, it's gonna try to bring down the ship even though it's clearly been killed. And we're close enough to the pontoon where they throw us a rope. We tie it off to them, and with the combined effort, they get to fish this big booger onto, or at least close to the pontoon. And they're like, we got to take this somewhere and see if we can't, 1, trade it for something, 2, kind of get a picture of this thing, and 3, start grilling it up. So mission success, and we built a little bit of a bond with Gersemi too, because we worked together to complete a mission. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have survived that. But hold up, just as it's almost reeled in, I didn't realize it had a heart. It kind of sputters. It's not dead yet. Ooh. So it jerks, and it's still got the javelins in it. And I bring down the stun mace. Okay. So it rolled. Oh, man, this is rough. It rolled an 8, and I got an 8. So it's a tie. I'm going to spend one of my motivation. It's hard because, I know what I can do. I'm going to make them re-roll their dice because they rolled a 5. I'm spending one more motivation. They roll a 5 again. So that's all of my motivation. That's it. That's all the motivation I had. And I really, really, really need them to not roll another 5. Okay, they rolled a 2. So I hit it and it just slipped off. Electricity doing nothing. And then Jersemi, she is steady blasting it. She changes out her cartridge. They're tugging and tugging with the javelin spears, and I slam down on it with a stun mace. I've turned it on and hits it with lightning, cooking it a little bit. And we've taken down this wild beast. And of course, there's other bluefish blasting us with their, heaviness, but for the most part, we're kind of drifting away from this crater again, and they've kind of turned around, realizing that we're not edible to them, even though they've gotten a couple nicks and bites out of us. But yeah, so we've defeated the beast, and we lost a favor, and we've gained a notoriety. So we're at a notoriety of 6. So what item were they trying to retrieve from its lair? And I think, honestly, it was just the food of the beast itself. And that might not be very exciting. But basically, this was a hunting party. We're down to 3 favor. But yeah, that or they're not telling me what they're hunting after, as far as from its lair. Or they just don't know if there's anything in that crater. But with all the other bluefish that are swarming around there, I think that having the actual, feast and abundance from this giant bluefish is going to be more than enough. Okay. So that was our exploration event. And then we're going to go on to our destination. And then I think that's going to be, let's see. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for today after we do our destination. So let's see. We'll go green dice again. Okay, we rolled a 6. Whoa. Yeah. Okay. So we're kind of been back and forth between this fortified base. We're back at the Holder Gate Station again. We're right in between there. And then immediately these guards, they're back. And they don't really try to threaten us this time. And we're going to try. It's hostile. So let's see what our possible reactions are. Can't speak to them. We'll try. Yeah, we're going to try to intimidate them. We're going to be like, hey, you really want to mess with the guy that just took down this giant flying super bluefish from the crater? All right. And we've stepped onto their boat. It's actually the same guards from last time, so they don't like us. So we're going to add 3 because we have a notoriety of 6. Okay, so we got a 7. And they get +2. They rolled a 7. Oh, man. I'm not as scary as I thought I was. They get to add +1 on their challenge dice, and they start trying to arrest us for our notoriety. So let's go again. They get +1, so that's going to be a +3. Well, that's our dice. And our blasters aren't going to reactivate for a while. But we're going to count this as a different combat for the stun mace. It's going to be a +2. So that's a 6. And they rolled a natural 6 +3. They have most definitely defeated us. Okay. We don't have any motivation. And it doesn't look... I mean, they don't want to... The locals are like tourists. They don't want to get involved. Okay, let's roll. Local law enforcement somehow interrupts the fight just as your opponent prepares to deliver a decisive blow. They leave or escape, lose a notoriety. All right. So this Elidoko has a personal grudge against us. And someone steps out from below deck and says, like, hey, what are you doing? It's obviously a higher ranking individual. Like, they're about to, like, clobber us in the back of the head with the butt of some of their sizzle spear. And this individual doesn't even look like a local guard. It actually looks like one of the holder. In this case, it's another Elidoko, but they're dressed like Order of the Holder member. And they say, hey, don't you know who this is? This, first of all, why are you, they just, killed this giant fish for all these people. Second of all, this is the guy we're hiring to hunt for Arcturus. Don't take him out. He's like, he was resisting arrest. He's like, don't arrest him in the first place. Give him a little bit of room to do his work. So we barely made it out. Our notoriety has been reduced. And then they kind of slink back down into the, with their sizzle spear in tow. They sink back into the ship. The lower area of the Elidoko guard boat. Whew. So we made it. Barely. We got lucky on that. We apologize for all the trouble and say we owe you one, and say we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him soon. We're doing our best. And then once again, in the background, already eating some delicious fresh cut sushi. Jersemi kind of gives a nod, like, yeah, we're working on it. To the Order of the Holder Elidoko, and he kind of nods. Okay, I can see y'all are working on it. We wouldn't mind if we take some of this fish. And we're like, yeah, of course. I mean, it's kind of not up to us, it's up to these tourists, but I'm sure they don't mind. So, they kind of go up, and they're experts at cutting bluefish. They kind of start filleting this thing up, and we kind of say, yeah, we'll take some of it with us, but we got to be on our way too. I can't speak for Jersemi, but I gotta go. And that's gonna be it for today's episode. And I said the same thing last time, or I said it might be this episode or the episode after. That'll be the finale. But I think next episode is certainly going to be the finale. Now we're at 5 favor and 5 notoriety. We're completely out of motivation, and we cut it close this episode. But I feel like we made some accomplishments, solidified some friendships, and kind of saved ourselves from some negative past engagements that have resurfaced. So overall, I'm feeling really great about this episode. And I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. And talk to you soon. Have a good one.